down below in the description. But in this latest news, Tesla, it seems like, has dropped the price of the 7-seat interior, which if you don't know, I'm going to give you a little bit of history on this, on what happened here, because there's a little bit of backstory. I mean, we see sensational headlines like this where Tesla has reduced the price of the Model Y 7-seat option by $1,000 down to $3,000. But I'll give you the history on that in just a second. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel and get access to the best Tesla buying guide out there. So definitely check it out, link down below in the description. But shout out to Sawyer Merritt. Tesla has reduced the 7-seat Tesla Model Y seating option by $1,000 down to $3,000. And of course, a couple other articles and things like that posted about. So here's one from Tesla North, and a good shout out to Tesla North for posting a picture of the third row seat. So anybody out there that is interested in a third row seat, definitely be aware. Maybe hopefully watch some videos on it or go to some dealerships or Tesla stores around you, because you can easily figure out which stores around you have like the 7-seat by going to Waiting for Tesla or even Tesla.com, because the 7-seat, even though it's a nice feature, it is not necessarily the biggest third row. It's definitely worth it for emergencies or maybe even very small children, because you can see like this area right here between where your feet are supposed to be, very, very tight. And then the headroom right here, because this is literally your trunk right here that opens and closes. So you definitely want to put people in there that are shorter, smaller, and just like smaller all around at the end of the day. But let me give you the backstory here. So this feature was $4,000 for a while, and also on top of that, you cannot get the Model Y third row seat on the all-wheel drive standard range. You can only get it on the long range. You cannot get it on the Model Y Performance as well. So really only the 7-seat configuration comes with the long range. I imagine maybe Tesla will introduce the third row option onto the Model Y all-wheel drive standard range at some point, but right now it is only on the Model Y long range. But here's the story. If you didn't know, it's, of course, now it's down to 3,000, and it was 4,000. Or actually, is it back up to 4,000 now? Because for a while it was down to 3,000. But the thing with that is it actually was 3,000 just a few months ago. And I don't know the exact date, but I want to say I tweeted about it at some point, maybe in it was right after the massive price cuts in January, where it went down from the Model Y went down from 66,000 down to 53,000. And then shortly after, I want to say sometime between February and March, Tesla increased the price of the third row, and then they decreased it today or the other day. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts. It's certainly it's recommended as an emergency third row, maybe even not to be used 100% of the time, but definitely some pretty interesting stuff that Tesla is finally playing around with different features out there, with different options to try and incentivize people. And I'm still kind of waiting to see, because full self-driving did raise and kept raising throughout these past few years, all the way up to the staggering $15,000 it is right now. So I'm wondering, will there be promotions on that in the near future? Maybe to incentivize people, maybe and to get people to purchase that, because there's a lot of profit margin in the Tesla full self-driving at the end of the day, even enhanced autopilot. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know what you're thinking. We're going to jump into the next topic, but before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link where you can support the channel, so definitely check it out.